All right.
Welcome to In Light with EQue. It's a relationship podcast.
Welcome,
y'all.
everybody.
Listen, we are husband and wife duo. I'm Q Butler.
And I'm Emmanuel Butler.
Yes, we are artists.
Yep.
So go check out our music.
Oh, yeah.
But more than entertainers, we are inspirational and we consider ourselves motivational. We represent all things life, music, and love.
Yeah.
And what understanding commitment could really yield.
Right.
Yeah.
I am ready. Last time we had talked about the secret to, building any relationship. Really, it works for all individuals. But yeah, we want to focus on the married couples, really, or people trying to get married, right? Because there's so many issues. I think everybody realizes that everybody needs each other.
Everybody needs somebody.
How are we going to come together? So that's what we're going to be discussing over,
So make
the length
sure
of this podcast.
Make sure that you check out the last episode because there was some really good information.
Right.
All right. We gave you the secret to building any great relationship. We've tried it. It's true. We've worked it. We've worked through it ourselves.
It's growing on us. Yeah.
It's growing on us. It's growing on us. So make sure you check out that.
Absolutely.
We also asked a question on social media.
Right.
What was that question, baby?
That question was, what's the number one issue in a modern relationship?
The number one issue in a modern relationship. And we got all kind of answers.
All kind of answers, from thinking finances, which is important.
Vulnerability.
Right.
Scared of commitment.
Right. Liars. All kind of different, nasty personalities that are in a relationship.
Which were true.
True.
We got a lot of them, which were true. But there seem to be three main trends.
Right.
So, stuff that people can, put multiple times.
Right.
And those three trends were communication.
Communication.
Of course, everyone's going to say that.
Absolutely.
Trust.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this one really shocked me. Social media.
Now why would social media shock you?
It just did. I'm like, I guess when I sat back and I really thought about it, it made sense because it does take your focus, like you said, and what you focus on grows and blah, 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 blah. So I do understand. I was a little shocked that people would actually put social media, but I understand now.
So we briefly talked about it last time, but just as a teaser, but right now what we want to do is kind of break down.
We want to get into
why, from our perspective, of course. Now, we consider ourselves to be somewhat of coaches and inspirational, like I said, teachers?
Yeah, like,
what would you call us?
Enlighteners. Because it's no degree. You don't have to have a degree to be enlighteners. It's experience, and what we do is through conversation we help enlighten.
Right.
And we also get enlightened ourselves. Through conversation you can learn so many different things.
Absolutely.
You can see another person's perspective.
Right.
Therefore changing your perspective. Conversation evokes
change.
change.
I think the thing is, we've been married 15 years. 15 years of the ups and downs. And you heard all the little cliches, like if you're able to last for 7 years, you own this something. 5 years, blah, blah, blah. But 15 years of experience. And I think that this credits
this hands-on experience.
I feel like we're having a great time.
I do too.
We kind of understand.
Because I think what we have is, you see it. Okay, and I know it's going to sound so like, oh my gosh, they're so gushy, and oh my gosh, this is so fake. But honestly, what we have is what I see on TV.
Right.
When I see, or growing up, when I saw relationships like Claire Huxtable and yes, seriously. And I feel like that's what we have. Not saying that it's perfect.
Right.
Not, but it's authentic. And it's what I envisioned.
Right. And so from our experience, we're going to kind of break down some of these things. And I think I might give maybe a couple of examples here and there, but we'll see. Let's try to get into these things.
Let's get into it. So the first one.
The topic is the top 3 issues in a modern relationship from our data.
Right.
The top 3 issues in a modern relationship. So let's get into it. The first one we was talking about communication. Why would communication be so like a determining factor.
It's crazy. Listen, everyone says communication. That's the number one thing I think that's the number one thing when you ask people why relationships don't make it. Aside from finances.
Okay. I got you.
Aside from finances, because that's pretty high on the list, is communication. Mm-hmm. People do not know how to communicate. And I'm going back to this. How can you lay down and have sex with somebody and can't communicate with them?
Because
not comfortable with them, can't say nothing to them, but you can share your body with somebody. That is crazy to me. Not saying that I've never done it.
Okay.
But looking back on it, it's like, how do I become naked and my most vulnerable physically to somebody and I cannot communicate with them?
I think the thing is everybody wants what they want. You know, I want it my way, whatever the situation is. Now, of course, we're going to be broad and very general. But whatever the situation is, I want it my way. I want things to go my way.
Go back, because that's going to be in there.
Oh, okay.
Go back. Everything wants.
So I believe that everybody wants what they want, right?
This is true.
You're talking about the ego.
Yeah.
You're talking about, I see things my way. You see things your way. You've been brought up a whole nother way. You got your own different behaviors, personality traits. So everybody wants to be victorious. They want to win, right? And so I think that this is one of the issues.
As an individual.
Right.
You want to be victorious and you want to win. Which I agree, because I want what I want. When I'm tired, I'm tired. I want to get some rest. But what if I need to do something for you, or vice versa? I mean, I get it. Everybody wants what they want.
Right. And so one of the things, you know, how we kind of overcome that. I feel like we're starting to overcome it. We're not perfect, but you know, I was really happy with what you did to me, you know, because of your personality.
What I did to you that you're going to share with these people.
You can be very egotistical to me.
Egotistical?
You want what you want.
But I wouldn't say egotistical. I would not use that for myself.
I got you, but I'm not being...
Maybe selfish.
I'm talking about just using the ego.
Maybe selfish.
Okay, but that's a form of ego.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so I think that you have a hard time, you know, tearing your guards down, but listen, I'm about to turn it around. So it was one instance where, you know, sometimes I would get in trouble for, you know, kind of being to myself, doing the things that I want to do sometimes. And she's like, I want your attention.
Being selfish.
I want your attention. I want your attention. So now I'm like, wait a second. Let me get a moment. Like, you know what I'm doing over here. Let me finish up doing this. Or you come to me if in your mind, in this moment, you want to have my attention. Why don't you come in my atmosphere? And I'm talking about for years, she wouldn't do this. But on this day, I seen her open up the door and she graced me with her presence. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, cause I understood that it took a lot for you to really kind of deny, you know,
deny myself
to be with me. And that I felt wanted.
I love you.
So I'm going back to communication. We had a communication. I said, you told me what you wanted. And I said, no, this is going to be my time. But I tell you what, since you want that in this moment, let's compromise and come. And she agreed. I felt like that was a perfect moment for us. You know, I seen your growth in that moment. But another thing is that's patience.
Yeah.
We don't have patience to deal with, you know, each other's viewpoint, or we don't have the patience.
Or you're so stuck in yourself. Patience. When you're thinking about patience and dealing with another person, you have to learn how to get over yourself. And we don't want to hit that learning curve.
Absolutely.
Nobody. I mean, we like to learn new stuff, but we don't want to have to go through the trenches to learn it.
Okay.
So I have to learn your way, or how to get over myself and what I've been dealing with for years and doing years and habits for years to kind of come over and give you what you want. And we don't want to do that.
No, because I mean, I feel like I've had to be patient with you when I feel like, okay, when is this the right time for me to let her have it in the conversation? Mm-hmm. You know, should I just deny myself? Am I wrong? Is she making a logical point in our growth, or whatever the situation is? You know, so I mean, also I think the last thing that when it comes to communication, the fear of rejection.
That's
Think about
everything.
it. I mean, because you know, I'm gonna just speak from my point of view. it's like, why didn't you come and tell me about this situation?
Or just fear, period. Not even fear of rejection, just fear of how somebody is going to respond or how they're going to receive you or how they're going to see your viewpoint.
Right.
Just fear, period. And then also, and I brought this up in the last episode, thinking that your partner can read your mind.
Right. I can read your mind, baby.
Like that is probably one of the biggest issues when it comes to communication is when I want what I want, I feel like you should know what I want, or how I feel like you should know how I feel, because we've been together so long. So, you should know me.
Right.
And it's like, no, I can't read your mind.
I don't know.
You have to open your mouth
and
tell me.
From that, we get to lying, going back to the fear. We get to lying, and they're like, why didn't you tell me the truth?
Like, just tell me the truth. Like,
because I was afraid of.
You're gonna get caught in your lie.
The fear of rejection, because it's like, let's just say I did do something weird, like cheat or had an encounter. Like, did you do this? And you like, no. And it's like, well, man, why didn't you just tell me? And it's like, man, I still want you. That's a whole other conversation.
Y'all, anyway. I'm not even finna get into that with him.
But these are the things, right? These are the reason why.
This communication can then lead, definitely in those issues, to trust issues.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now you afraid to tell me the truth, and you lying, and it turns into this habit, and I can't trust what you saying.
Right.
Trust is, listen, when you lose my trust, it's going to take a while for you to get it back. Because that's something that you have to prove to somebody. Right. And, when people, what's the word that I'm looking for? When you misuse the trust, or when you, what's the word I'm looking for?
What? God, dog. I don't know.
When you abuse.
Oh, abuse.
I don't even know if that's the word, but that's cool.
Okay.
When you abuse my trust, you have to give me the opportunity to react in whatever way that I need to react. Hurt me? Whether it be, of course, not physical.
Okay, well, clean it up. Because,
if I'm angry or if I don't want to speak with you, then you have to give me the opportunity to react that way, because you just abused my trust.
To pretty much show you that I did not like that behavior.
Right.
Whether it be, hey, you know what, let me use some time to myself and think about this thing. I really don't want to talk to you right now.
Or even if I say, let me check your phone. Or if I say, I'm asking you questions daily, you have to give me.
Why you want to check my phone, man?
If you had cheated or you were caught in an uncompromised position with someone else or a conversation,
good point.
I should be able to ask you, because here it is. No, I don't trust you. So yes, I'm going to ask your whereabouts, so on and so forth.
Okay, I can see that.
And the person that always abuses the trust,
if he will be honest,
is the one saying, why are you asking me? I'm not going to be proving myself for years. But it's like, no. You have to prove yourself to me. And however long that takes, you have to be okay with it, because you abuse the trust.
I agree with that. I feel like I was on the other side of that for a little bit. Yeah, I do. Maybe in other podcasts we'll talk about this, but yeah, I have to gain her trust back.
And do.
Okay, we'll talk about this other stuff later.
Probably not.
I have to regain her trust back. So sometimes if she asks me, what's this? Where are you? It's because of the imagery that I placed in her mind.
Where the hell you at? What you doing? Who you talking to?
That I gave to her emotion. This is what I'm giving to her. So overseeing the situation, I'm like, oh shoot, it's my actions that's doing this crazy mess. I need to rebuild trust, because I've been lying, cheatful things, trying.
You didn't want to say cheating.
No, man. Because
you didn't want to say cheating.
When I tell you the story, you may be on my side. But anyway, it was wrong. Okay, it created the wrong perception that I wanted, and I'm like, okay.
And the thing is, all it took was communication.
Right.
We wouldn't have had to go to this place, or we wouldn't have had
good point.
been in this situation.
That's how you link it together.
The trust would not have been abused if you would have just communicated.
And I think it's a trust issue, because people think, okay, you're using me. You're abusing me. I thought that, remember, we talked about this in the beginning, you said I was the only one for you. You said all these other things. Now here it is. Why did you have to go do this? Why didn't you pay the bills? I thought we talked about this. You said that you would do. Are you using? What'd you do with the money? So it's a selfish move, and it makes people feel like I'm being used. I'm being abused. I'm not in this thing for building anymore.
Right.
It's just somebody stomping all over me. So I think it's people feeling like, what are they gaining? And that's why the guards are up. Because it's like, remember, we're trying to give ourselves to each other, become vulnerable. And it's like, how can I give myself to a person who
lies
or cheat or, just deceptive?
Or just can't, I can't trust your words. Like, what do you have if you can't trust what someone says?
Right.
The person that you building with,
So it becomes that you look like you're not dependable.
Yeah.
It's like I'm supposed to be leaning on you. You singing a song, you can lean on me. But at the end of the day, your actions, like my mother used to always say, your actions need to speak loud. Well, how's that?
Louder than your words.
Yeah, let your actions speak louder than your words. She would say, I hear what you saying, but what you doing is too loud. She would always chant that.
Oh, that's good. I hear what you're saying, but what you doing is too loud.
It's not what you were.
And it ain't even what you're
It's not in alignment of what you was talking about. So you become independable. I cannot depend on your word or your actions. So yeah, that's so.
Is it undependable? Independent. It's undependable.
Undependable.
You
gotta be so literally.
I'm just saying. I was thinking it just stopped at independable. No, it's undependable.
Undependable. You might be right. Yeah. Okay. My
or
bad.
Not dependable. Y'all know what we're saying.
You know what we're saying. So this leads us into. Now, we already can't communicate, got trust issues, and then we're going to add the world to our situation?
Yeah, because we live in what kind of world?
Social media.
Technological world.
The Matrix, right?
Social media is everywhere. And what you focus on, it grows. And half of us ain't focusing on our relationships. We're not focusing on what your spouse wants. You're not focusing on what's going on in your house.
Right.
You and everybody else's house on social media.
Good gracious, man.
Right?
And so what happens is, like you said, Instagram and all these other places, they create these false perceptions. Well, to them it is what it is, but it gives you the idea of trying to keep up with the Jones.
This is true.
It's like, oh, we got to have this because it's like, are y'all finances there?
They doing this. This is the trend, or this is what's big, so I have to have this there.
Right.
A little bit of stop that ignorance.
Or once again, now let's go ahead and go to my Christian roots. We talking about lust, your lustful desires.
Yeah, because social media, definitely when you're talking about Facebook or YouTube and stuff like the visual productions, you're dealing with your eyes. So here it is, you're upset with your spouse, or you having issues with your spouse, and now your eyes or your visual is somewhere else because you see things that you like on social media. Right. Everything that comes up is something that you like. Right. How you know that?
Bike week. I'm just saying what's out there. What's out there.
But how you know what's on there? How you know what's on there?
Mercy. Y'all getting me in trouble.
So you see things that you like, that you're giving your attention and your focus to, and your spouse sees this or not.
It's like, oh, you liking this?
Right.
And when we got this, we so stupid as men. We talking about like.
And your idiot's gonna like it. See, he got in trouble for that one. Like, I know good damn well that don't say Emmanuel Butler at the bottom of this picture. I know.
That mess off.
This don't say like. And not even hearted it. I know good damn well.
Oh my God.
This does not say Emmanuel Butler. It better be another. And I go, and it always him with this big old smile.
Don't get mad. I'm just window shopping.
I got your window.
Oh my God.
But your window's at your car.
Oh no. Don't do that. You need the car too. But anyway, but just getting caught up with your lustful desires.
Yeah. It's easy.
Because once again, that's the land of confusion. That's why we have the private sector and we have the public sector. Your family is categorized in the private sector. That's where you guys create your identity. But what's happening, and I get, going out to the public to gain information to better, what your identity is. But we get on social media and then we just get drawn by all kind of stuff.
Because now you forget what you're really on there for. Even if you are trying to better yourself, or here it is, you're stuck in the entertainment and you're stuck in your lustful desires.
I'm not knocking it. I love it myself. Don't
what
get
you
me wrong.
love?
I'm just saying, just the whole concept of the internet.
Just making
but
sure.
I'm trying to use it for things that I actually want to identify myself with. So, but once again, that comes in building your spirit and focusing on what you want, knowing thyself, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And so when we know ourselves, we tend to do better, and we tend to be able to be responsible for our actions a little bit more. And that's
a good one. Be responsible for your actions. It's all about accountability, y'all. We get caught up in all these things with communication, with trust issues, social media. It's all about accountability. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your relationship? So instead of getting stuck in a place of self, like, oh, I'm doing this, and oh, well, she mad or he mad, and I'm not going to tell him this, I'm a lie, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to watch it. It's like accountability. What do you want for yourself? Your decisions create your now, create your reality, create your life, right? You are the potter, and your life,
I like that,
is the clay.
Right.
And you decide what kind of life you want by the decisions and the choices that you make.
That's true.
So it is really all about accountability. The communication can get better if you hold yourself accountable. Your trust can get better if you hold yourself accountable. Social media habits can get better if you hold yourself accountable. I ain't saying it's easy.
I'm
just telling you what I know.
Me the road would be easy.
So listen, we hope you really got something out of that. I mean, my ending words would just be what I said earlier: accountability. Hold yourself accountable, and all these aspects, all these different things can and will get better if you hold yourself accountable.
My ending words is life, music, love. Live life with passion and commitment. Okay,
that's good.
If you live life with passion and commitment, you can have whatever your heart desire, right? Because it's what you want. You shouldn't be sad at that point, right?
Went back to that secret. That was a secret, y'all.
Oops, my bad.
If you missed the last episode, make sure you go see it. But, guys, we got some big things popping and little things dropping, right? Make sure you hit us up if you want some in-light sessions. It's all about conversations, and we dig a little bit deeper to show you how life, music, love can and will work for you and what you have going on, right?
So reach us at eque.mail@gmail.com. Again, that's eque.mail@gmail.com if you want to hit us up.
Yep, you can also find us on social media. Facebook, our personal pages. Mine is Q Butler.
Mine is Emmanuel Butler.
No, it's not. Yours is hacked. So there is no Emmanuel Butler. You can also find us on our artist page, which is EQue. Make sure you spell out EQUE.
Right.
You can find us on Instagram, EQ_. And the crew. You can find us on TikTok. EQ_ and the crew.
That's where we do some singing on that one, y'all.
That's right. You can find our artist information there, and you can also find us on YouTube, EQ, the the crew. Make sure you link up with us.
Patreon stuff, so
that's right. So if you want to get the visual
of
our podcast, make sure you hit us up on Patreon. It's really inexpensive, y'all. It's inexpensive.
So yeah, follow us on our journey. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Anything else?
Yeah, we got a single. Like to hear it. Here it goes.